Hello students, welcome to Dr. Sourav's classes, and so we are today solving ISI MSQE PEB paper 2025. So second part. So now here the question you have been given, it was on monopoly. So let's see how we can solve it. So here, consider a monopoly firm facing a market demand function. It was being given 12 minus P. P is the price we know and Q is the quantity. Now the monopolist has a single plant which can produce an output of Q at a cost of this, and cost function is given CQ otherwise. Okay. So now first we have to find out so from here we know that P is equals to 12 minus Q, and TR will be what then? P multiplied by Q, that is 12 minus Q multiplied by Q, that is 12Q minus Q square. And what will be my marginal revenue? That will be ddtr of dq, that is 12 minus 2q. Okay. Now given cost is how much? The CQ is being given 2 plus q square by 2. So what is my marginal cost? dc by dq. So that is q. So now we have to find out the monopoly output. We know that is MR is equal to MC. So then it is 12 minus 2Q is equals to Q, or Q is equals to 4. That is a monopoly output. We can represent it by this. So now from the demand, monopoly, price and profit if I determine. So from demand we know PM is being given as 12 minus QM. So that is 12 minus 4. So that is 8. Now total revenue is how much? It is 8 multiplied by 4, that is 32. And total cost is how much? Total cost is 2 plus 4 square by 2. So that's 10. So then profit will be easily find out. That's TR minus C. So that's 32 minus 10. That is 22. So now the socially optimal output. We have to find out the optimal monopoly output, which we have find out deadweight loss and the welfare at the social. Okay. So now we will set price is equal to marginal cost. So that means 12 minus Q is equals to Q, or Q will be 6. That is socially for this one. And finally, the deadweight loss we will find out. Now, if you recap, what is the deadweight loss? That is the triangle between monopoly and socially efficient output. Okay. So, what is the base of triangle? That is QS minus QM. That is 6 minus 4. That's 2. And what will be my height? Height will be the difference in price at Q equals to 4 and Q equal to 6. So here we have at Q equals to 4, MC is 4, and Q equal to 6, P is how much? 12 minus 6, that is 6. So height will be 8 minus 6, that is 2. So then what will be my deadweight loss? The deadweight loss will be half to 2. So my answer will be 2. Now finally I have to find out the social welfare. So what is my social welfare? So my social welfare will be consumer surplus plus producer surplus. So now under monopoly, this is a monopoly function. consumer surplus is how much? Half 12 minus 8 and also multiplied by 4. So that's half 4, 4. So it's 8. And what will be my producer surplus? So that is profit. That is 22. So finally my social welfare function, I will put the value. So that is 8 plus 22, 30. So we have solved out with the 1A. Now we'll jump to 1B. So now next is the monopoly firm can discriminate perfectly and can also tell in the world market for a constant price of 8. Okay. So now the monopoly firm can, the statement summary, it states that they can price discriminate perfectly. That is the first price degree discrimination you can do. The firm can change each customer their maximum willingness to pay and can also sell in the world market. So what happens with this perfect price discrimination? Perfect price discrimination. So here the monopolist captures all the consumer surplus. This is first. Second, the optimal output is where? The optimal output is where price is equal to marginal cost. That is the same as socially marginal output, optimal quantity. And third, the firm will produce up to the point where P of Q is MC of Q. Okay. So from part A, we have already solved demand. That is P is equals to 12 minus Q and MC is equals to Q. Okay. Now we know that 12 minus Q is equals to Q or Q star is equals to 6. So thus in the domestic market, the monopolist will sell 6 units, charging each consumer their maximum willingness to pay. So that is at each marginal price from 12 down to 6. Now if I consider selling in the world price at price equal to 8, that is the which is given that. So now the firm considers that it can sell beyond 6 units at a price which is being given as 8. So solve for the optimal monopoly outcome. So now if profitable, so let's calculate the profit from selling additional output at price equals to 8. So then we already know that the cost function is being given as 2 plus q square by 2. This is cost function. And what is the marginal cost? Q. So to sell in the world beyond, MC Q is equals to Q less than equals to 8. Okay. Or we know Q is less than equals to 8. So the firm will produce up to Q equals to 8. So the first 6 units are sold in the domestic market with perfect price discrimination. And the last 2 units are sold at price 8. So what is my final result then? So total output Q star is 8. So the first 6 units it will be sold in the domestic market with perfect price discrimination, and the next 2 will be in the world market, and that is also at constant price, and that is 8. So now I will do the profit calculation that we have to do price discrimination. So then, so the domestic market is how much? So the domestic market, that is price discrimination. So total revenue, we know that the area under the demand curve from Q equal to 0 to Q equal to 6. So that is 6, 0, 12 minus Q dQ. So that is 12Q minus Q square by 2, and this is 6 to 0. Okay. So it will come to 72 minus 18 is equals to 54. Now world market, similarly we will find out. So what will be my world market? The revenue is being given as 8 into 2, that is 16. So total revenue will be 54 plus 16, that is 70. So what will be my total cost then? C of 8, that is 2 plus 8 square by 2. So that is 2 plus 32. So that is 34 total cost. So finally, what will be my profit then? So then what will be my profit? So then my profit will be 70 minus 34, that is 36. So if I jot it down, what I got then, that that optimal output Q is 8. The 6 units being sold in the domestic market, that is price discrimination, and 2 units are being sold in the world market. Okay, and that also at price 8. And profit is how much? Profit is 36. Now finally I come to the last question. Next, suppose the monopoly firm has access to 2 plants, 1 and 2, and each produces. So this question states 2 plants are there. I is 1, 2, and each plant produces output at cost, that is Qi square by 2. Okay, now total output is how much? Q1 plus Q2. So we have to find the aggregate cost function, that is the total cost it decides, and use the aggregate to solve for the optimal monopoly output. And what? Okay, so first we will find out the aggregate cost function then. So here first we want to minimize total cost for producing total output. So Q1 is Q1 plus Q2. So we have to minimize Q, or rather cost, with respect to plus Q2, and that is subject to Q1 plus Q2 is equal to Q. Then we will use Lagrangian. So Q1 square by 2 plus Q2 square by 2 plus Q minus Q1 minus Q2. Okay. So first we will find out the first order conditions. So take first order condition. One is equals to lambda del Q2. So Q2 minus lambda is 0, or Q2 is equals to lambda, or del lambda. So that's del lambda Q minus Q1 minus Q2 is equal to 0. So then we will substitute each of the thing. So Q1 plus Q2, that is 2 pi, or pi is equals to Q by 2, because we know Q is equals to Q1 plus Q2, or we can say Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to Q by 2. So now we will compute the total cost. So here CQ is Q1 square by 2 plus Q2 square by 2. So that is Q by 2 square by 2, same which we have find out, Q by 2 square by 2. So it will be 2 Q square by 4 multiplied by 1 by 2. So Q square by 4. So now the final aggregate cost function will be CQ is equal to Q square by 4. Now we have to find out the optimal monopoly output. What is the optimal monopoly outcome? So we know that demand P is 12 minus Q. Okay. And revenue is PQ. That is 12 minus Q multiplied by Q. That is 12Q minus Q square. And MR is how much? 12 minus 2Q. And MC is how much? DC by DQ. So D DQ of Q square by 4. So that's Q by 2. So now we will set MR equal to MC and we can find it out. So MR is equal to MC. So 12 minus 2Q is equals to Q by 2. Or 24 minus 4Q is equals to Q. Or 5Q is equals to 24. Therefore, Q is equals to 24 by 5. 4.8. So that is the Q. Now next we are having with perfect, if the monopoly firm can perfectly price discriminate. So we know that demand, that is P is 12 minus 2Q. Okay. So now MC is Q by 2. So then 12 minus Q is equals to Q by 2, or Q is equals to 8. So that means this is for optimal monopoly output, then it is Q8, and for optimal monopoly output this is 4.8.